Okay. Let me put this on. Let's see. Okay. This ain't come on. Okay. Let's get it off. Okay. All right, y'all. Okay, well, I'm back. So yeah, I was really shocked by how Andrew Tate he went and responded right after his loss. So he's an older guy. Actually, me and him are the same age, but by him responding this way after he lost, he didn't blame nobody else. So I thought it was very interesting, especially the things that he's covering about after the fight. So let's get into it.
It's a nice day today, so we're going to have a happy time. And there's a whole bunch of lessons that I have learned in these last couple of days, which I would like to help all of you at home by imparting my knowledge on all of you. I think that the best way to learn is from your mistakes, but it's even better to learn from other people's mistakes. So, not that I made any particular mistakes, but I've certainly learned some lessons. And this is going to be a happy emergency meeting. We're going to have a really good time. But before we do that, I don't know who's talking in my house. Who's talking, making that noise? Let me shut that up. Right. So firstly, it's Christmas. We have a Christmas tree behind us. Yeah, please. Christmas is nice. You know, Christmas is a happy time. I didn't even put this Christmas tree up, you know. The Pagani, thank you, motor company. Have you heard of them? They make Pagani automobiles. There's not many of them in the world. They cost around $5 million each. I have two. The Pagani company actually came and built me a Pagani Christmas tree and gave me Pagani presents to put underneath it in my Pagani penthouse, which was very nice of them. Very kind. Because I'll be honest, I probably wouldn't have had a Christmas tree. I had other things on my mind. I didn't have a Christmas or a New Year planned. I didn't have anything in my head after this fight. My life ended on December 20th. And now my life has begun again. It's a unique position to be in. People are saying, oh, what about Christmas? I'm like, oh yeah, Christmas. I forgot about Christmas. And I forgot about New Year. I forgot about everything. I only had one singular focus. I was just worried about this fight. So now I have my life back, which is a unique position to be in. I don't think many of you have ever dedicated yourself to something to the point where you couldn't see beyond it. To dedicate yourself to something so heavily that you literally can't see beyond that date. There is no life beyond that date. And when you wake up the following day, it's like, oh yes, it's a big wide world. And I'm in Dubai and I'm famous and there's restaurants and other things to do besides the fight gym. It's a brand new horizon, which is kind of liberating and kind of exciting. But also part of me misses the singular focus, you know, to only have one thing to worry about and one thing to do. I think it's quite refreshing. That's why I've...
Speaking of that, that's one thing that I wanted to go and talk about. And this is the thing that most people get wrong. Most people strive toward being a jack of all trades. And what most people don't realize is the people that are really successful, they got one thing popping, they got one thing going, and one thing that made them a lot of money, and they was the best at that. Then once when they had that going so well, then they would have did other different things. It's like even Andrew Tate. He was kickboxing only for a while. He was doing that. And then later on, you know, how he went and got his wealth was through some type of webcamming business that he had with women. But he did that one thing. Then later on, once when he got other stuff, you know, once when he made millions from that, then he did other different businesses. But most people want to keep chasing doing different things when they're not even a master at nothing.
I've always found it confusing when people struggle with motivation. There's nothing more beautiful than having one particular focus on the planet. That's the most beautiful thing in the world. To have a distracted mind and abstracted thoughts, that's not nearly as fulfilling for the soul as waking up with one particular concern.
But you'll tell you, man, the reason why is because most people can't deal with boredom. Just like they've done all kind of research, and then boredom is actually the secret way to master something and being better than most people. Most people can't deal with boredom. They gotta always eat something new. They gotta always be doing something new. They can't master the idea of, okay, learning and mastering something requires a process, and it's not going to be fun. Most time it is going to be boring. So most people just can't deal with that because they haven't never mastered nothing. They're not patient enough.
And a date by which that concern gets to be fixed. That's actually the optimum way to live life for your soul and for your heart. To wake up and say, I only have one thing to do, and I'm going to give it my all. And if I do that on this day, I get the reward for that thing. That's a beautiful life. If I were to say to you right now, dedicate yourself for the next 1 year, give it your all, 4 or 5 hours a day, think about nothing else, don't go out, don't go party, don't talk to silly girls, forget about Christmas, forget about your birthday, forget about New Year's, focus only on this thing for 1 year, and on this date you get the reward. I guarantee you, even more than the reward, even better for you than the actual payoff in the end, will be the process of going through that year. And you're going to think back on it with a fond memory. The best thing about this fight was that I got to spend the last 4 months with only one thing to think about. I got to be with Amir, my coach, every single day. I got to be with Tristan every single day, Luke Barnett every single day. And in the long story, in the extremely long book, which will be my life, this will be a very interesting chapter. The time was going to pass anyway, friends. I didn't have to do this fight camp. You know, I could have just said, no, I'm not doing any fight camps. I'm too old. I've been retired for too long. I'm just going to eat food and drive cars and party, be famous and be rich like every other guy. And this day would have come anyway, and I wouldn't have the fight camp story. And perhaps the reason most people in that position don't take such big risks is because they're scared of being laughed at. And that's what we're going to talk about now. We're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about being laughed at or people mocking you when you fail at something. That's what today's emergency meeting is about, because I think a lot of you hold back on being who you want to be because you're afraid of people's negative opinion of you. Let me make something very fucking clear to you from the beginning. If you are worried about other people's opinion of you, they already own you. They already control you if you are worried about what they are going to say or what they think about you. Even if you need the...
Hold on. I got to add on that, though. So I also think about this, too. I think about how, like, our people back in the day, they used to have to go and bring home... They used to have to go out there in the wild and have to bring home the water of the day so that their family would make it. I think about how tough that person had to be. They didn't have the luxury to worry about what people think about them and how people feel about them. They just knew that they had to think about the elements. They had to think about being out there and going up against wild animals every day. One of my favorite things that recently I like to watch is it's this one documentary series that says dangerous ways that kids have to go to school. So these kids have to go out there, you know, and walk for hours. They had to walk for hours every day. They have to fear facing a wild animal. But then these kids know that the only way that they have a better chance for a better life is for them to take that chance. So they would rather take that chance, just walking across raggedy bridges, that they can fall at any given time. And then the parents are just hoping and praying that the kid can make it because they're poor and that's their only way. So just imagine how tough these kids have to be versus you're so afraid of what somebody is going to think about you. You don't even try. Just think about it. You don't even try because you're afraid of what somebody else think about you.
Praise they own you. If you sit and say, I'm going to try this thing, and I know I'll succeed, and everybody is going to say good things about me. So to make sure that happens, I'm going to cheat, or I'm going to be underhanded. I'm going to do some sneaky shit, because I need these people to say good things about me. They already fucking own you. I don't care if people say good things about me or bad things about me, because those people don't own me, and they don't decide my worth. And they don't get to decide how I live my life because they sit there and write comments. What kind of bitch would I be as a man if I sit at home and think, you know what, maybe I should take this fight? Yes, it's a big risk. Yes, he's younger than me. Yes, he's more active than me. Yes, he's heavier than me. Yes, he's taller than me. Yes, I might lose. And if I lose, people on the internet will make fun of me, so I'm not going to do the fight. Are these people my fucking boss? Are these people my master? Am I going to allow them to treat me like a slave? Am I a slave to the opinions of people I've never even met? I'm an imperfect person, but the people with opinions are imperfect people. Why do I give a fuck about the opinions of imperfect people who didn't take the risk I took? I don't care about people laughing at me. And I don't care if people mock me. And that's why I took the risk in the first place. And that's why my life is the life it is. Because I've done nothing but take endless risks all the way to the top.
And that's one thing I definitely can resonate with, though. So yeah, it just most of the time in life, you got to take a chance. I mean, you got to leap before you're ready. When it comes down to you, bettering your life, and especially building your business or doing something that's uncomfortable, you're going to have to struggle. Just say strength only comes from you having to struggle. That's just like how it is. But most people would rather not take a chance. They want to just play it safe all the time. And they wonder why their life is mediocre. They wonder why they haven't developed the skills and patience at mastering a craft. So I definitely resonate with what he's saying. I totally get where he's coming from.
A win is forever, and a loss is temporary. The reason a loss is temporary is because it eventually fades from your consciousness. The loss doesn't stay around for long. The world moves on, people forget, you forget, but the win stays forever. Let me give you an example. You try and start a business, and you win. You become a millionaire. You save your bloodline from eternal slavery. You buy a Pagani penthouse to give you a free Christmas tree. You try and start a business and you lose. You lose all your money, you get pissed off and upset. A few weeks later, you try again. The loss disappears, but the win stays forever. So when you understand that wins are eternal and losses are temporary, how can you not flip the coin? How can you not roll the dice? You have to roll the dice. Because if you win, it's changing your entire life trajectory forever. And if you lose, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is some people.
Speaking of that, that's what I'm doing right now. Right now, I'm taking a chance regarding me. I'm building my business and then me getting leads by having a winning Facebook ad. So I'm working on that right now. It costs money. I'm taking a chance, and it's extremely difficult. But I know that once I get that right one time, and I have regular quality leads coming in, it's going to change my life and make my life a lot easier. So he's totally right, but most people just, when they spend money, they want it to be something fun, something for sure. And they wonder why they can never advance themselves. And they wonder why certain people like Andrew Tate and myself would be able to beat them.
People on the internet are going to say some bad things about you. Some imperfect people who jerk off to porn, who have their own problems and their own struggles. Who gives a fuck what those people say? They're not the master of me. They're not in charge of me. I went out on my shield like a man, and I'll do it again. Chase beat me, but he didn't instill fear in my heart. I'm not afraid of fighting. I'm not afraid of him. He just beat me. I don't even know, I've not yet had time to process why he beat me. I got tired after the second round, and I don't know why. The first and second round.
Speaking of y'all, so I watched the fight, and that's the first thing that I want to notice. So he was winning the first 2 rounds, and I noticed that later on he wound up getting tired. But and then when I was looking at the other guy Chase, I was looking at how he was boxing, and yes, I mean Chase really is still not a good boxer. I was looking at how he was doing stuff, but then still he's younger, and he's more in shape. Okay, and so but definitely but Andrew Tate was winning the first 2 rounds, so I can definitely say that that's the first thing that I went and thought and noticed. And Andrew Tate, especially the first 2 rounds, he definitely outboxed him.
He couldn't touch me. If I didn't get tired, I would have won. I'm a better boxer, but I did get tired. Maybe it's ring rust. Maybe I'm too old. Maybe he's too heavy and he kept leaning on me. I don't know why, but he beat me. And let me make something else very clear to you. I have complete respect for Chase D'Amour. Complete respect for him. Because I know the pressure he must have been under to take this fight. It was an opportunity for him, yes. And it was a risk for me. But we had pressure on different sides. Both sides of the coin, we had pressure in different directions. It would have been very difficult for him mentally, just like it was very difficult for me mentally. And for him to turn up on the day and get it done, complete respect to him. Let me give you some life advice to everyone at home, guys. Never, ever take away your opponent's victory. It's like paying a debt. If you make a bet, you're a man. If you bet $100 on a sports team, you shake hands, and your team loses, and you don't pay your bets, what kind of man does that make you? No. You have to pay your bets. The karmic forces in the universe does not and will not ever like or reward a man who doesn't pay his bets. Chase deserves this victory. He deserves the fame. He deserves the happiness. He deserves the money. He deserves the credit. He earned it. And I'm not going to take that away from him with excuses, talking about rematches, making up bullshit about how he grabbed me or some crap. He won, and he deserves it. And I pay my debts. I always pay my debts. If I want to get spiritual about all of this, you have to understand that there are forces larger than us people that exist. And I said that the answer was already written. Why did I get tired? I don't know. It doesn't make sense. The only thing that makes sense is that I was not supposed to win. Why was I not supposed to win? Is the world a better place now that I've lost? Maybe the win means more to Chase than it would have meant to me. Maybe Chase couldn't handle the loss. Maybe God decided, you know what, Chase has been through enough with mocking and things on the internet. Chase doesn't need the loss right now. Andrew can handle the loss better. Maybe God decided.
Yeah, and then sometimes I say a lot of times in life, in order for you to win, you must lose. So when a person can't take defeat and everything, it shows a lot about their character. So I gotta say, I do like how Andrew Tate went and handled his loss. So I gotta say that.
Maybe if I won, we would have went out and celebrated that night, and Tristan would have smoked a bunch of cigars, and maybe he would have died 1 minute earlier. And maybe I get an extra minute with my brother because I lost. And if that's the case, then I'm glad I lost. You have to have faith in a higher power. There's a lesson in all of this. And I don't need to know exactly what it is. If God decides that for some reason he's going to instantly gas me when I was in perfect physical condition so that I lose, then I have to accept God's decision. And I'll take the punches in the face like a man. And I'm not going to bitch, I'm not going to complain, and I'm not going to cry. I'm going to take it. God decided on that day that that's what has to happen to me, so I did it. If you're going to go through life without understanding that there's a grander plan, a plan that's bigger than just you and your ego. The plan is bigger than just us and our egos, guys. The plan is bigger than just, I want to win, so I have to have what I want like a spoiled child. And what God decides and what's good for the universe and what's good for people to learn from and what's good for the general karmic retributions of the planet. Fuck all that. I want to win so that no one on the internet laughs at me. It's not how it works. And I took this fight knowing it was a risk. Guys, I could have fought a tin can. I could have fought an idiot and everyone would say, top G, top G, top G. I could have fought some nobody and beat up some nobody. But what's the point in that? Where's the lesson in that for me? Where's the lesson in that for you? Could have done it and took the money. But that's not who I am. It's never been who I am. Genuine risk, genuine reward. Got a few super chats here I'm going to read out before I continue. $300. Thank you for the $300 super chat. Sent me a message on X. I'll remember your name and I'll look for it. I'll look for your Twitter account. I hope you have the same name. $100 super chat. Match the other day was incredible. It's amazing to watch you keep pushing and getting back up. We're proud of you. You'll always be a champ in our eyes. Thank you. Means a lot to me. Another super chat. These critiquing fuckers don't have the courage to walk down the street at night. You will not take as an insignificant, unknown, a nobody, and you're so afraid of someone saying something bad about you that you're going to sit there and not take the risk. What kind of fucking man does that make you? It makes you the kind of man who is forgotten to history. Napoleon is in the history books. He lost battles. Muhammad Ali lost.
I was like, speaking of Napoleon, but people don't talk about those that Napoleon, he would have lost to the Haitians in the Haitian Revolution. Nobody talks about that. He lost to Dessalines.
Tyson lost. Champions sometimes lose. Sometimes the stars just don't align and you just lose. And you have to know that and you accept that when you agree to take the risk in the first place. And that is the barrier that prevents most people from getting anywhere. The what if I lose? What if you lose? I just lost in front of the world. Got paid 20 fucking million fucking dollars. I'm fine. I just lost. What happened? I'm fine. My life's fine. I'm fine. Some jackass wrote a Twitter comment. You think I give a single fuck? The best way to get over a loss is to keep on winning. I'm going to keep winning. I'm going to continue on my mission to teach all the things I know to as many people who will listen to me before they finally put a bullet in my neck. I'm going to continue to see my kids and live a fantastic life. Continue to build the real world into the largest online school that exists on planet Earth. I'm going to continue on my mission. That's how I get over a loss. I keep winning. I'll go fight again. And win or lose. I tried my best. And I have no explanation for what happened. But I'm not afraid to try again. No fear was instilled in me. My spirit and my heart have not been broken. Even at my old age. Perhaps I should know better. Perhaps As a lion gets older, he should be a little bit smarter about the war he gets involved in, about the fights he picks. But after spending so many years patrolling the savannah as the fucking biggest, most dangerous lion that exists on the planet, I don't want to change. I don't want to change. And now my joints are a little bit slower, my teeth are a little bit less sharp, and I'm walking around the savannah, and there's these other lions encroaching on my territory, and I don't want to change. I want to go fight them. Maybe I should be a bit smarter. Maybe I should know better. But that's what got me here.
Yeah, actually, that's a great point, because that's how most lions wind up dying when they get older. Just when they get older, and then like how they keep they keep defending their pride until they're not strong enough to be able to fight off the invaders. So one day, they get overtaken by somebody younger and stronger, and then the lion wind up starving to death, or wind up dying from the fight. But at least he tried, so.
It's all I've ever known. I've never known how to say no to a challenge. Not in a stupid, idiotic street fight bullshit way. In a, there's genuine reward for me attempting this way. You can't undo moves in life. And one of the thoughts I've been having these last couple of days is, if I knew I was going to lose, would I have still fought? And the answer is yes. In fact, if I knew I was going to lose, it would have even been more important that I fought. Because if I were to not fight just because I'd lose, then I'd really be a coward. And I said before the fight, I'm here to fight. I don't think about win and lose. I'm here to fight. And I meant it.
That's a great point, because most people are like that. Most people only pick fights or only just do things that they're sure that they'll win, and then wonder why they're not good at anything, and they also wonder why they don't have true confidence.
If a genie came to me and said, I've seen the future, you lose this fight, Andrew, are you still going to do it? I said, now I have to. Now I have to. I'm not a coward. I might be an older lion, but I'm not a coward. And let an old lion tell you young kids something. Time fucking flies, bro. I remember winning my first world title. I was 23 years old. I was Wolverine. I could heal in a day, things that now take a week. I'm not so old. I'm 39. But staying active till 39 is very different than coming out of a 10-year retirement at 39. If I was 23, would I beat Chase? Of course. Would I have beat Chase 3 years ago, before the Romanians threw me in a fucking jail cell and forced me to sit in my house for 3 years for no reason? Yeah. Am I bitter? Am I going to sit here and cry that the Romanian government, the most corrupt government in the fucking EU, stole my prime years, my last years I could fight at my best? Am I going to cry about it? No. You can't undo moves in life. You just have to look at the chessboard, understand that certain moves have been made, and move forward. This is the key. The key is that your mind must be able to instantly regenerate. If you ever talk to an alcoholic, alcoholics are obsessed with the past. I've noticed this. Whenever I talk to an alcoholic, all they talk about is the past. It's like, hi, alcoholic. Hi, yeah, my kid died. Da, da, da. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. They're obsessed with the past all of the time. You need to be able to regenerate your mind. If you can't do that, you just rot. Imagine your body gave up on regeneration. Imagine you cut your finger and your body said, nah, just keep bleeding. I give up on this whole regenerative garbage.
Speaking of that, just like certain organs, like your liver, It actually can be. It actually takes about, I think, what, 5 years to regenerate, as long as it's 25% salvageable.
It's unfathomable for you people to imagine a world in which your body gives up regenerating, because you know that you're going to simply decay and die. But your mind has given up on regenerating long ago, and you're not trying to fix it. You're not sitting going, all the bad things that happened to me, my mind needs to instantly regenerate. I need to take the lessons from them, learn so I become more capable and more competent, and move forward. That's it. It happened. Here's the lesson.
Yeah, speaking of that though, yeah, so that's how it goes. So first a person stops learning, and then they stop growing. Then a person, stops growing mentally. Then a person stops growing spiritually. Then in the end, they stop growing physically, and as soon they die.
I learned, move forward, done. If you can't do that, you rot and you die. And I just told you that time flies. You're sitting at home, if you're a young man in your 20s watching this, one day you're going to blink and you're going to be 40 like I am. What are you going to do with the next 2 decades? You're scared of starting a business or going up to a girl or getting in the ring. You're scared of making a name for yourself. You're scared of the world knowing who you are. You're scared of going in the UFC. You're scared of getting up there and taking a risk in case people fucking laugh at you. You're going to die soon. One day you're going to be old, wishing you did it when you're young. What are you waiting for? Time to go backwards? After the fight, Chase said I helped him mentally. If you judge a teacher by the quality of his students, the fact I managed to instill and help him enough with his mindset so that he could beat even me makes me proud of him and proud of myself. It's like Master Splinter teaching the Ninja Turtle so well that he could beat him. Another thing I want all of you to, at home, to learn from this experience that we went through. I lost. So I'm not a perfect person. If I'm imperfect, and I'm human, and I'm fallible, just like you, and I've achieved so much, I've made hundreds of millions of dollars from nothing. I became the most Googled man on the planet, one of the most well-known people who exist in the world today. I have all of my dreams. My mother is happy. All my children are happy. I have everything I've ever wished for. I have everything. If me, as an imperfect person, can achieve so much, why don't you have everything you want? Is it because I take risks that you won't take? Is it because I'm not scared of being laughed at? Is it because I understand that the clock is ticking? Is it because I have urgency inside of my soul? Is it because I do not need motivation? Because I am determined? Is it because I understand that I am not going to waste 3 years wondering what if? I just want to go and find out now? Why do I, an imperfect, beatable man, have so much more than you? This is a question you need to ask yourself as a professional. Let's analyze this. Why does Andrew Tate, a man who is beatable and fallible and human, have so much more than me? You should have the same things I have. And for the same reason I just said I'm proud of Chase, and I'm glad that I taught him things that allowed him to beat me, I hope all of you become more famous, more well-known, more rich, more successful than I am. You're watching my show. I want the absolute best for you. I'm not a hater. I'm not one of them fucking guys who wants others to lose so he feels better. I want all of my students to win. If you're inside the real world watching this, you join to make money and you see that we teach you how to make money. I want you to do better than me. That's going to be my legacy. Top G is not about fighting. Top G is not about never losing. Top G, everyone says to me is, you helped with my mindset. You helped me. That's what I am about. That's what all of this is about. Perhaps that's why God made me lose, so that I had things to say on today's emergency meeting besides, ha ha ha, I won. Maybe that's why. I want you guys to win. I want you to win more than you want to win. Because when I try and teach you how to win, when I say join the real world and dedicate yourselves, you won't do it. I'm trying to drag you to happiness while you kick and scream like a fucking child, refusing to do any work, refusing to try.
Speaking of that, though, I go do that with my clients. They're basically acting like children. They don't want to log their meals. They don't want to do this. They want to just, just enjoy their day. Just like today, I told them, okay, on a holiday, one thing that you can do that can help you, be able to not gain weight like everybody else is, you can have a cheat day, but just don't have a whole cheat week of you just eating whatever you want to eat, eating all these leftovers for days and days and days. That causes a person to gain all this weight during the holidays. So if you just have a cheat day, that's acceptable.
During the fight camp, Tristan interviewed hundreds of newly made millionaires. Fight camp wasn't all I was doing. I was helping you guys get rich at the same time. During fight camp, Tristan interviewed 100 of newly made millionaires we made in the last 6 months. We made 100 people millionaires in the last 6 months, and Tristan did an interview with all of them. You could be one. You might be one in 2026. We have amazing things coming up. 2026 is your year if you want it to be. It's certainly my year. 2026 is my year. You think because I lost a fight that it's not my fucking year when I collect my yacht and sit with my beautiful children? Of course it's my year. Let me see who's at my door. Hopefully it's not Romanian police.
That's what it is. Let's see. Hold on. Oh, no, come on.
I got a whole bunch more beatings in store. God probably has a big pile of beatings waiting for me. God has a big bag of beatings with my name on it. It's kind of like crypto, you know? You think it'll never get any worse? It can get worse. You know, after the last 3 or 4 years we've had of hell, jail and getting thrown in house arrest, and the media lying about us and insulting us, and we only got free in February, guys. Don't forget, I was locked in my house for 3 years until a few months ago, 8 months ago. I said to Tristan, the universe probably owes me this win, you know? I've been through so much. God and the universe probably owe me this win. I'm going to train my ass off, but after all I've been through, they'll give it to me. Big bag of beatings with my name on it. And it won't be the last. I'm sure in 6 months from now, something else is going to happen, and it's going to be like, man, I've been through so much shit. So many bad things happening to me. Why now? Why again?
Speaking of this is something that I tell people all the time, at every level of strength that you reach, every new height that you reach, your resilience is going to be tested every single way. It's going to be so many more distractions. Something finna come up. So it's not going to be just a smooth sailing, just sail. You're going to be tested every single way. And this is the main thing why most people can't get things done, because they're waiting. The stars has to line up for them to do anything. So they basically master the art of bullshitting themselves, master the art of procrastination. Every day it's like, well, I get to it one day. Yeah, I mean, in real talk, though, really, also, I say the universe don't even care whether you do it or not. It's all up to you. You know, you just, are you willing to take that leap or not?
But all the superheroes out here know that's how life works, right? Just when you think it can't get any worse, just when you think you're down, another kick comes, another kick comes, another kick comes. And you know what makes you a G? Because you get up. This ain't my last beating. More is coming. And I'm going to stand there and smile in the face of every single beating God sends my way. And I promise you, you can shoot me with as many bullets as you like. I remain unfazed. You may beat me, but I won't quit. And I won't give up. And you're not going to break my spirit, and you're not going to break my heart, and you're not going to make me afraid. And that's a message not just to fighters, that's a message to the fucking government, that's a message to the police, that's a message to the people who are planning to kill me, that's a message to all of you. As long as I'm breathing, I'm not afraid of any of you. Fuck you. And if I can get up, I'm going to get up. I don't feel sorry for myself. I don't sit around hoping my enemies are going to have mercy on me. I don't mope around the house like, oh, please stop. Nah, fuck you. I'll get up. Kick my ass. I'll get up. That's why I'm top G. Not because I always win, because I always get up. The worst possible existence, the worst possible version of life would be to give up hope for the future.
Speaking of that, though, so that's one thing that turns people into haters. But a person just gave up, and when a person just gave up on their dreams, that make them into the biggest hater. So, and then that's when it becomes dangerous too.
And I think a lot of people give up hope for the future because they start getting scared of all those beatings that are coming, right? They sit and say, you know what? I've lost my girl, lost my house, lost my money, lost my car. And now I got sick on top of it all. I just want to give up. I quit. I have no hope for the future anymore. And one of the most powerful things about not being afraid of taking a beating is that you never lose hope for the future. I know beatings are coming. I don't care. In fact, part of me kind of likes it. Maybe I'm just stubborn, you know? I like being that guy who's like, we've kicked his ass, and he just won't fucking shut up.
Well, yeah, I mean, it does help if a person is just stubborn about the right stuff. If you're stubborn about bettering yourself, if you're stubborn about improving your business, if you're stubborn about changing your unhealthy habits despite whatever it takes. So being stubborn on some things is actually a good thing.
We've taken all his money. We threw him in jail. We threatened to kill him. He won't stop. Why won't he stop? We've tried to make this man kill himself. While we insulted him in the media, the second he gets free, he goes to fight some heavyweight. What's this guy doing? The harder you hit me, every single time I get back up, something in my soul goes, you're annoying them, Andrew. And that gives me all I need to carry on. I don't lose hope for the future. And I'm not scared of all the bad things that are coming my way because I know there's going to be a whole bunch of good things too. And perhaps my job here as a man is to be a vessel from which others get to experience things and learn things and improve their lives. I get to teach you all lessons. I get to teach my children lessons. I sat with my son. He said, what happened to your face, Dad? I said, I lost a fight. He goes, why did you lose? I said, I don't know. I can't explain it. I'm a better fighter. I don't know. But even if I knew I was going to lose, I'd still fight. And boy, you're going to have to fight, and you're going to fight whether you win or lose. And he said, yes, sir. Maybe that's why God wanted me to lose for that conversation. Maybe he wanted me to lose for this emergency meeting. Maybe I'm about to save someone's life. Maybe my job on this planet is just to take a fucking beating over and over again and just pay for everyone else and give everybody else what they want to make sure the mothers of my kids have a fantastic life, and to make sure that my kids have a fantastic life, and to teach you all things. And maybe I'm just here to fucking suffer and get my ass kicked, and I'm going to do it all so I can give everyone else a fantastic life and give everyone else mindset advice. Nobody gives me mindset advice. Nobody helps me. Nobody helps me with my mindset and saves me when I'm depressed. No, maybe I'm just here to take a fucking beating like a piñata and give candy to everybody else. Maybe that's what God's plan was for me. But I ain't going to fucking cry about it. If that's what God wants me to do, then that's what I'm going to fucking do. Tristan said to me, "What happened?" I said, "I got tired. I don't know why." He said, "You deserve that win. You've been through so much. You deserve that win." I said, "I know." He goes, "You trained so hard. You're in fantastic shape." I said, "I know. I just got tired. If I didn't get tired, I would have beat him. He couldn't hit me in the first round. He couldn't touch me." And he said to me, "I'm tired, Andrew, of watching you find the silver linings in all of the clouds. You deserve to have a sunny day. You're so good at finding a silver lining on a cloud. Every time something bad happens, you find a way to learn something or make it good. But I'm tired of you having to suffer all the time and look for the silver linings. Why can't you just ever have a nice day? Why can't you ever have a sunny day?" And I said, "Well, we've had so many fucking clouds that we've got a lot of fucking silver." So I guess that's what it is. I'm so good at finding the silver lining. When you throw me a cloud, I'll find the silver. Now I've got a big pile of it, hundreds of millions of dollars of it. Anyone who thinks less of me for doing something I didn't have to do, for money I didn't need, for taking a risk with my life, has a character defect and a morality defect. And they're not the kind of people I want to like me. So that's fine. Anyone I've inspired has made it all worth it. And if I could go back in time, knowing the result, knowing I would lose in front of the world, I'd do it again.
Yeah. So I definitely respect that. So just he knew that it was a high risk by him being 39 years old and fighting a 22-year-old. And like I said, he's been going through so much the last few years, being in jail and just having injuries, but he still wanted to try. The moment that he felt that he was afraid, he knew that he had to do it. So I definitely do resonate with that, y'all. So that's what it's about. Just taking chances, betting on yourself, and believing regardless, so win or lose, I gave it my best. And regarding of your health, you should be doing the same thing. Have you been giving it your best regarding your health and fitness? Have you been putting in the effort? Have you been making the sacrifices? Have you been logging your meals, your macros? Have you been keeping track of your habits? If not, it's time for you to make that change. And if you need help, I can help you get there. So if you're interested in finally being able to solve your 10, 15, or even 20 or 30-year problem regarding you getting to a healthy weight and toning up your body and getting rid of your stomach and helping and getting help with your food addictions you've been having, all this emotional eating. If you're ready, you can finally be able to put that behind you, so you can imagine you being able to walk in your closet and being able to wear outfits you haven't wore in 10, 20 years, instead of you just now having just to wear the stretchy stuff. Imagine how that would just boost your confidence. Imagine how that boost your self-esteem. Imagine you coming home from work and having the energy to live your best life, instead of you just coming home from work and having just to flop on the couch. But once again, that'll only happen is if you just make yourself a priority and stop seeing all these beautiful lies. All right, y'all. So like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you all next time. And remember, Solid Fitness World is where strength meets elegance. Like, share, and subscribe. And I wish you all a Merry Christmas. And I want you all to put your health first. Stop pouring from an empty cup. Stop making excuses for how busy you are. But you, especially you ladies, life is on easy mode for a woman who's fit and she got a nice body and her image is on point. Which I do want the women to have a better attitude. But to be honest with you all, if a woman is super hot and her image is on point and her looks is on point, most guys will deal with her bullshit. It just, you got to be hot enough where a guy will deal with your bullshit. So, all right, y'all. I'll see you all next time. Like, share, and subscribe. And I hope you all enjoy your Christmas and put yourself first.